Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is the Cultural Confederacy. It's Thursday night, and I want to share this article with you from ClassicFM.com because the group ABBA is back in the news. After a long hiatus, 40 years, they have just released their ninth and final studio album. It's called Voyage. Now, the final track on the album is Ode to Freedom, and in that song, they reference part of the theme from Tchaikovsky's Swan Lake. It's actually part of the theme from the waltz from Swan Lake. And this is an article by Sophia Alexandria Hall. This came out November 8th, so 3 days ago. And I have to say happy Veterans Day to all you veterans out there. Thank you for your service, your sacrifice, for supporting the series. And if you clicked on this video for the first time, thank you for being a part of this thing we call the Cultural Confederacy. This is where we preserve our history and culture as Americans, bring to light music by lesser-known composers, celebrate great art, great music. And I have to give a shout-out, because it is Veterans Day, I have to give a shout-out to MeTV, because they are airing, as we speak, the final episode of the series MASH. And this is a great example of preserving our history and culture as Americans, the work that MeTV is doing. And I believe that this episode, this final episode of MASH, was probably the most watched episode of all time, if not the most watched episode of that time period outside of Dallas. So way to go, MeTV. And if you like the video, please click that like button, subscribe, hit me up on Instagram at #JasonComposes. You can leave comments below. Now you can reach me at Twitter, Cultural Confederacy at Twitter. So after saying all that, let's get to the article. So title of the article, once again, this is at ClassicFM.com, and this, again, by Sophia Alexandria Hall. ABBA give an unexpected nod to Tchaikovsky's Swan Lake in new Voyage album. While an ABBA x-Tchaikovsky collaboration wasn't on our bingo cards for 2021, we're kind of here for it. Swedish pop group sensation ABBA are back after a 40-year hiatus with their ninth and final studio album, Voyage. And fans have noticed that the final track on the album, Ode to Freedom, has a familiar tune. Not because it contains a callback to a previous song composed by the band, but rather because the song references the waltz from Tchaikovsky's ballet, Swan Lake. Now I have to tell you this little side story. When I heard this song by ABBA for the first time, I have to admit I got a little too excited. And I mentioned in the comment section that, this song is based on the waltz from Tchaikovsky's Swan Lake. And people said, oh, well, no, it's not. No, it's not. So I had to clarify what I meant. I didn't mean that it was based note for note on Tchaikovsky's waltz from Swan Lake, but that they loosely based this song on, or were referencing Tchaikovsky's Swan Lake in this song. So I had to clarify that. Now, in the process of doing that, in this exchange, I met somebody who was originally from Sweden. And I said, well, there's a lot of great Swedish composers. Have you ever heard of a composer by the name of Franz Bervald? And he said, oh yeah. We have a concert hall in Stockholm named after Franz Bervald, which I think is so cool. And a lot of people don't know who Franz Bervald is outside of Sweden. He's, if you will, the godfather of Swedish music. And he was born in 1796. I believe he died in 1868, but they called him the musician of the future. He was writing music that was a good 40, 50 years ahead of its time. If you listen to the opening to his third symphony, known as the Symphonie Singulière, it just starts out with a modulation, which sounds pretty modern. Sounds like something that was written within this century. So you had composers like Franz Bervald that were writing music like that back in the 1840s. 1840s, isn't that cool? So go out there and discover this music, because, folks, it's out there. You don't have to settle for somebody like Travis Scott. I'm just saying. But I thought that was so cool. They have a concert hall named after Franz Bervald. Now, another really cool piece by Franz Bervald. Get this out. Another cool piece by Franz Bervald is a piece called Foot Race. And when you listen to this music, you can definitely tell that he's trying to portray this idea of a foot race, because the music is really fast. I mean, it just comes right at you as soon as you hear it, and when the piece is over, you're like, wow, that's it? So go check out the music of Franz Bervald, one of my favorite composers, on top of Bernhard Romberg. And yes, I also love jazz and Blood, Sweat, and Tears, groups like that. So my taste kind of are all over the place. But I thought I'd share that story with you, because it is related to this article here, that this person is from Sweden and they know who Franz Bervald is, which is so cool, because he's not very well known. He's now starting to get the reputation he deserves, but he's not, for a very long time, was not very well known outside of Sweden. So back to the article here. Written by the Russian composer between 1875 to 1876, Swan Lake is one of the most popular ballets of all time, and the waltz in A-flat major is one of the most recognizable melodies from the work. Twitter was quick to pick up on the reference to the tune on ABBA's Final Voyage track, with listeners desperately trying to find the piece of classical music they were reminded of. Here's what they said on Twitter. Ode to Freedom is stunning, sounds like a waltz, but it's 4/4 time, cinematic, symphonic, underplayed. Another person said, it reminds me of a piece of classical music, and I can't for the life of me think of what it is, or the title, or find it. And they write, ta-da-da-damn, ta-da-da-damn, ta-da-da. God, this is driving me mad. Despite its references to the waltz, Ode to Freedom is written in a time signature of 4/4 instead of the expected 3/4 found in Swan Lake and the majority of other waltz forms. Thus, the theme is pulled into a more conventional pop song format while maintaining the low-swelling string holding the melody similar to the original Tchaikovsky. The vocals enter towards the end of the song, joining in on a typical ABBA-esque, they say ABBA-esque, so the vocals enter towards the end of the song on a typical ABBA-esque harmonic build on the main melody with the following lyrics. Now, they don't actually give the lyrics here, or they think they do in this video clip, but I'm not going to share that with you just because of copyright. The foursomes sing about writing an ode to freedom, a piece of music not pretentious but with dignity. In the ballet, the waltz underscores Prince Siegfried's birthday, and it is a moment of celebration for our principal dancer as he celebrates with his friends and villagers from his kingdom. It seems fitting that ABBA's final album should end with an epic orchestral, albeit gentle, celebratory theme. The band has achieved so much since forming in 1972, and they have every right to celebrate a long and successful career where they changed the face of pop music, or the pop music industry, forever. So I thought I'd share this article with you once again from ClassicFM.com. Title of the article, ABBA give an unexpected nod to Tchaikovsky's Swan Lake in New Voyage album by Sophia Alexandria Hall. Go check this out, and definitely go check out this waltz from Swan Lake. It's actually one of my favorite pieces. Just as a standalone piece, this piece is awesome. I mean, you could have this as an encore or opening piece to a concert. It really is an independent work by itself, the waltz to Swan Lake. So go check it out. And they do have a clip of that here on ClassicFM.com on this, or in this article. So this is the Cultural Confederacy saying, peace out, stay safe, everybody. God bless this great country. I'll catch you next time. And don't forget to click that like button, subscribe, hit me up on Instagram at #JasonComposes. You can leave comments below. And you can now reach me on Twitter, Cultural Confederacy at Twitter. This is the Cultural Confederacy saying peace out, and I'll catch you next time.